Before I continue discussing the markets, please take this moment now with helping me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click subscribe. Click this bell. Click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Next, click the thumbs up button every time you watch my videos. Okay, let's continue with the view of the markets. This video, I review the commodities markets. Commodity markets are all priced in US dollar. So first, we'll review the dollar, looking at the weekly time frame and then the higher time frame. Starting off with each candle is a week, and this is a 1-year chart. The momentum is down. That's bearish for the US dollar. The last 2 weeks did make green candles, made higher highs and higher lows. Consider that just a bounce. And I'm looking for an area to enter to trade short. Short would make money on a decline in price. So maybe this is one area I have labeled that it may come to test. Or because this is a prior consolidation, that 91 number, I'll see what happens when it goes above that. But we made a new low this year from last year. Yes, that is strong bearish. Looking at the 5 years, each candle is 1 month. Even though we're not at the end of the month yet, we're midpoint, halfway through the month. So we have a green candle forming. It's still below halfway of the prior month. Again, the momentum has been down, it has been bearish. Here was the high of last year. And we made a new low this year. Yeah. And for the past 5 years, there was the high. Now let's start off with the commodities. We'll look with the grains first. These are all futures we're looking at. So you notice they all, we'll start with /. The symbols for the underlying commodity. So since we're first starting in the grains, look at the first one, corn. Again, start off with the weekly. Made an all-time high for this year and took out the high of last year. Huge run up. So again, since commodities are priced in the US dollar, when the US dollar gets weaker, commodities are going higher. Corn is used for feed for animals. Corn is used in energy for ethanol. And corn is food. There's a huge demand for it and a lot of pressure that's putting the prices higher. Again, that pressure is what? Weaker dollar, and demand has not been reduced. Looking at the 5 year, again, each candle is a month. All-time high for this year and all-time high for the past 5 years. Has price of corn gone up at your grocery store? Has the price of ethanol gone up? How about the feed for cattle? Let's go on to the next. Next commodity, stone grains. Looking at wheat, all-time high for the year. It took out the high of last year. Higher high, higher low. Big trading range already for the week, huge. Big demand. Look at the 5 years. Already a high for this year, but we took out the high of 5 years. It's a lot of pressure up there. We'll look at oil seed now. Still in commodities, still in grains. Sorry, now we're in the, not in the grains, now we're in the oil seeds. Looking at soy for the weekly. Higher high for the year and took out the high of last year. Look at all these green candles, such a strong momentum to the upside. That's bullish. What's putting all the pressure on soy? Yeah, we know soy is in feed, soy is a food product. There's big demand on soy. 5 years, all-time high this year and all-time high for the past 5 years. And let's look at the next commodity under lumber. Okay, we're looking at the weekly. So for the year to date, new low, lower low, lower high. Versus last week, huge sell-off, You might want to check news sources and business, see why there was a huge sell-off last week in lumber, and this week, smaller trading range. But we all did make an all-time high this year that took out the high of last year. Very interesting. Lumber, again, this year we made an all-time high for the past 5 years. Did like a 180 for the prior month. Huge trading range those past 2 months. And these past months, huge trading range. Again, most of the lumber for construction in the United States comes from Canada. We have to convert the US dollar to buy Canadian dollar. Doing that puts pressure on the Canadian dollar to be more money. And that means we're paying more money for the Canadian dollar plus for the lumber. Let's go on to the next. We've got livestock. First, we'll look at live cattle. Inside candle for the week, indecision. And we did not make an all-time high yet, because here's the all-time high for last year. Mostly in a tight consolidation here. And for the 5 year, here's the high for 5 years, making lower highs. Maybe there's a less demand on cattle, maybe. Go on to the next, cattle feed. For the weekly, the trend is down, the momentum's down. The past 3 weeks, lower low, lower high. And there's the high of last year. This is a demand zone. Buyers have been stepping at this price level. We'll see if that holds. And next week we're above that. That's an opportunity for a trade idea. Where would you go in? If you break above the high of this candle last week, one would consider to buy there, have this stop under there, and you ride the momentum, keep moving your stop up to the new weekly low or faster time frame. But this has been a supply zone. A lot of sellers have been up there. Look at the 5 year, each candle's a month. Here's the high for the 5 years. So again, the price has been declining. Now we'll go to lean hog. Back on the weekly candle. The trend is down. Here's the high of last year, just shy of taking out this year until we had the sell-off. And for the 5 years, the all-time high was there 2 years ago. And here we are now, way below the high of all-time high. And also the low of the past 5 years was last year. Okay, let's go on to the next. Go on to energy. Crude oil. All-time high for the year. Coming into the swing high, this yellow line, this yellow horizontal line is a swing high, 54.66. Even though this weekly candle was a real small body in a shadow on top, maybe we're going to see sellers and reversals to go lower. I'm looking for opportunities to go short. Monthly time frame, all-time high was there, and the current trend for the past 3 months is up. Just like here on the weekly. Trend, consolidation, trend. Let's go on to the next, natural gas. I am still long positions in natural gas using the underlying stock ETF, Uniform November GOV, and I'm trading options on them. I'm short puts. What does that mean? When you're short puts, that means you're bullish. If you're short calls, that means you're bearish. So advanced option strategies I just mentioned to you. So here we go, natural gas. Much of a consolidation building here. Past 2 weeks, made a higher high than last week in consolidation. And the all-time high last year was there. 5 years, look at that. For the monthly, we're inside candle, below the high of last year. It's well below the all-time high for the 5 years. Let's go into metals. Gold, looking at the weekly. This was a wedge building, broke out of that 1 week, came back in, made a lower low, but still a tight consolidation there. So this is a demand zone here. Buyers have been here. Opportunity to buy if it comes down there if you're bullish. Again, the current momentum is down, so they're currently bearish. Let's look at the higher time frame. The monthly, huge consolidation, a lot of red, but holding up this demand zone where buyers have stepped in before and sellers been there. Okay, the momentum for the bigger picture is upside. Look at the weekly. The momentum on the wedge is down, but notice the strength for the prior balance area consolidation has been bullish. So if we build more of a consolidation, we might see a breakout to the upside with a tighter wedge. One should watch. And silver. It's in a consolidation phase. Real tight. That's a bullish consolidation phase. If I was to consolidate that, this was demand zone, broke above that, and now this is acting as a demand zone in this area. Yes, there's sellers there, but the bigger picture, it has been bullish. So look for buying opportunities here. And if you're wrong, you get out below the demand zone or use different time frames. Looking at the monthly, again, huge consolidation with huge trading ranges, more to the upside, big strength. Let's look at the last precious metal. Remember, the big three precious metals are gold, silver, platinum. So we're looking at the weekly platinum. Huge trading range for the week. Lower low, lower high, but green and close back inside the body of the other one. A lot of indecision. But again, bigger picture here, it's a consolidation. The metals are bullish. And the monthly, all-time high, took out the high of last year and nearing the high of 5 years for palladium. It looks like, let's look at the last metal, base metals, copper. Looking at the weekly, it's in a consolidation phase. Last week, made an all-time high for the year and took out the high of last year. That's a consolidation there, very strong. And looking at the monthly, all-time high this month for the past 5 years. And commodities, sorry, copper is a big use in industrial use. So higher prices in commodities may mean there's more of a demand in the industrial use, from appliances to construction to technology devices. Again, this also has part of the big upside is because the US dollar is so weak. If you like this market information I've shared and want to learn more with greater detail, step-by-step training, I have a Patreon page. I share trade ideas for earning monthly income. Below in the description box, click Show More. Scroll down. This link here, click on it. Take you here to my Patreon page. Select a membership and join. Then you have access to unlock my posts.